Hello everyone. It's 9:57 p.m. at night. Thankfully, I had help with another hotel night for tonight. Thanks to the person who helped. Um so, well, it's a good thing that my eyes are starting to get a little heavy and I'm starting to get a little sleepy. Um so I tried to strive to eat healthier. Um excuse me. So, you know, I I didn't work on any writing at all today. After I did something big yesterday, you know, but so I after the video, I mean no, that was a live streams this morning, huh? Um I had I had went to, well, it was like 12:30. I went to go take a shower and try to comb out my hair, and even though it doesn't look like it, um excuse me. So this part right here is like its own big matted ponytail that I kept trying to comb that part out, and it seems like it's a matted ponytail that, well, I mean, it doesn't have a ponytail holder on it, but it looks like more like a ponytail. And I try to comb this part out, and it's feels like it's pulling. Even last night, it felt like it was pulling. Excuse me. And this section right here seems like it was taking forever for hair to try to pull out, and this seems like it's hopeless. I felt hurt because I felt like, wow, I really wanted to let my hair grow out. But it looks like I'm going to have to be forced to get it all cut off again because of, the homelessness and the depression and the sleep deprivation and lack of physical energy or whatever. So I just got tired. It was 12:30 when I started, and I've been trying to comb my hair out and it feeling like I didn't accomplish much. And then, I washed myself, and after trying to comb my hair out and wash myself, you know, it took me from 12:30 to 3 o'clock, and I just got physically tired. You know, I didn't take any naps today, at all, and oh, my right shoulder is hurting. Um, I did a couple of videos, I guess. Um, and I'm getting really sleepy. So, excuse me. So the stalkers, well, I better not say it. She may not want me to say it, so I'm not gonna say it. You know, but yeah, I don't know how much more I can take, y'all. Excuse excuse me, my body and my mind and my soul cannot take being homeless on the streets anymore. It's really taking a toll on me, and switching back and forth between being homeless on the streets and in the hotels and not having a steady, stable place to live is really taking a toll on me. You know, um, so I mean, like I'm feeling scared to go back on the streets tomorrow. I'm feeling high anxiety because the threats that the stalkers are making at me, and and the fact of being tortured and uncomfortable with just simply being out on the streets with no rest. And I don't know what perp attacks will come my way. My body is weighed down and physically exhausted and tired. And multiple people realize that I'm in survival mode. I'm about to break. Like, it feels like my body is falling apart. You know, like I'm being like tortured. This is torture. My body feels tortured. I wish I did have a permanent place to live, a place to call home, where I can have a place to live where either if I can have neighbors that will be respectful and give me my peace and quiet, or um if there's an opportunity to live somewhere where I don't have to have neighbors or don't have to worry about neighbors. You know, you see how quiet it is right now? Why can't I have a permanent home and it be that kind of quiet all the time? And if they want to have a graduation party or a 4th of July party, like if the neighbors can be like considerate enough to be like, well, Candy, we're about to have, you know, a such and such a day party. You might want to rent a hotel for the night or go out of town or something. And then I could go out of town or maybe, somewhere else for the night and then come back home, you know, so I won't have to be tortured with the noise and I can have my peace and quiet, you know. But, like, I had to document the noise harassment campaign from the fake crusty perp neighbors, you know, all day, every day in those apartments. Not an ounce or a second or a minute of peace and quiet. And they thought that they harassing me with noise was supposed to be like considered a tactic to punish me. You know, it feels like a flea bit me. I don't know what that was, but they did have a couple of gnats in here. A few of them, I guess. Not many. But I'm wrongfully, banned from the shelters. I want to stay in my hometown, New Orleans, because I had got tired of feeling homesick. But the stalkers are trying to force me to hate it here. They're trying to force me to hate what I love. Excuse me. And trying to force me, out of society. If I had a permanent home and stayed home all day, I could be away from society in my private home, you know, but they put me in predicaments where I'm forced to have to be around a lot of people and follow so many rules and stay poor. You know, I'm disabled with certain limitations, so I cannot work around noise. Um, excuse me. Um, and then if I do get a job, they'd be like the low wage, either part time or full time jobs, but low wage jobs that pay low enough that my income plus um now they're starting to vibrate my body. My income plus the social security check, I was still it still wouldn't be enough to make ends meet to survive, especially if I got to be living in hotels and motels. And they got me wrongfully banned from all the damn cheaper hotels and motels and extended stays and stuff. Like Wyndham hotels, certain nights, La Quinta, would be like $55 a night. I can't even get regular hotels that low anymore. And I'm wrongfully permanently banned from all Wyndham hotels. Well, that's what I was told. But I heard that if they're independently owned and operated, then I'm supposedly not banned from those. But I don't know if I could double check or, ask again. But they need to undo those bans because those bans are just as unfair as me being illegally swatted and wrongfully thrown in jail. Like, they need to unban me from the hotels, motels. They need to unban me from the Riverwalk and a lot of different other places. You know, and I mean, when I did a video talking about needing a winter solution off the streets, it got that video got ignored, and I posted at multiple different places. And it's like when I land an opportunity to get a place to live or housing, and I ask for help to come up with the funds for the place to live, it's like I get ignored and nobody wants to help me to the very last minute. And I don't know if they feel like they don't believe me or take me seriously until I'm there, like what happened with Bloomington, Texas. They waited until like after I was at the front office to start pouring in donations and help to get me, on my feet, with that cabin. Excuse me. And I ended up having hell over there. So that's why I got out of there as soon as possible. And the stalkers called me a fool for, chasing after that housing opportunity that was $213 a month. And I only got to stay there for 1 month. I was not going back to Bloomington because I would be trapped with no transportation, and it's like living in prison. But I mean, it would be nice if they had a place in New Orleans metro area. Since I don't have a car, you know, if I could get, I mean, if they had a bus, um, if there was an opportunity like the cabins in Bloomington, but here in New Orleans, but I haven't heard of any. If it might be a cabin or a tiny house or something, but I haven't heard of any, or a cottage or something. but I haven't heard of any, you know. But for I mean, a lot of people like to go out and about and enjoy themselves on the weekends, but it was too hot in Bloomington anyway. Um, for me to be just sitting inside all summer long and never get the opportunity or the freedom to go swimming or do nothing, to just sit in the cabin all day. And then it was too physically hot to go outside. And I was the same kind of depressed that I was suffering when I was in Denton, Texas, you know, and having nowhere to go and just feeling depressed or whatever. Um, so, you know, if I had a vehicle, car, truck, well, I don't want a truck because for me, I feel like a truck is a man's vehicle, you know, but if I had a car, van, or SUV or something, um, excuse me, if I had like a car, a van, or an SUV or something, um, I or an RV or something. Well, I don't know if that might be too big for me. Um, well, for me to drive around in, guess a mobile home or whatever. But I've never driven like a vehicle attached to a camper or a trailer or nothing, and I know that I don't have the ability to, or I have no experience to do that. But a regular car, truck, van, SUV by itself, yeah, I'm capable of driving that if I'm not sleep deprived. You know, um, and I would have to rewarm up again. I have my driver's license. Um, you know, so I know how to drive. I just need to I don't get to do much driving. The last time I got to physically be driving was 2022 with the fake cab driving job, and they perped me with that. Excuse me. And the stalkers shut down my opportunities whenever I try to raise funds for a vehicle to work or live in. And then Fake Cindy and my twin sister, well, my twin sister defended and agreed with Fake Cindy when they try to talk. I don't know, I didn't look at the video, but I don't know if it was a video of someone doing Uber or Lyft or something like that. And they're like, yeah, Candy could be doing this. Well, I don't have y'all don't want me driving. I don't have access to a vehicle, so how could I do that XYZ kind of driving job? You know. But one thing, I will never mess with a cab driving, a taxi job ever again for the rest of my life. And I don't want to do Uber, but you know, I wish I can. I don't know if they still have Amazon Flex, but you know, I wouldn't mind delivering packages or food or whatever, you know. But then again, it might be scary to try to deliver food because you know the customers might be dangerous, you know. Um, excuse me, if they might want to hurt you or something because they feel like you didn't bring their food by a certain time. But I'm the type of person that if I had to be an Uber or um, Uber Eats or DoorDash driver, if I'm gonna be later, like later past schedule, if I have to take a bathroom break or get gas or something, I would be the type to be considerate to let the person know that, hi, excuse me, this is Candy, your Uber driver or your DoorDash driver. Um, I'm getting gas right now, or I'm using the restroom. I'll be on my way soon, ASAP or whatever. I wouldn't just leave them hanging, you know. Excuse me. Or yeah, I would try to be considerate and respectful, you know. But how certain people look for reasons to be mad at you for XYZ reason or whatever, Um, excuse me. But dealing with being targeted and forced sleep deprived, I could never feel well rested. I could never be well rested. I'm always feeling sluggish. Could never get to feel normal. You know, yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to be forced to get my hair cut again. I feel sad, and I have to, start back all over again. Look how long. Wait, hold up. I've been my last haircut. It was 4th of July. Yeah, and this part just keeps breaking, and it's super knotted up. I don't want to look like a he or a man or whatever. I wanted to let my hair grow out, and I feel sad that I have to be forced to get it all cut off, just like being forced to have to get rid of the tooth because it was breaking. Um, I still have kind of a hole in there, but the tooth, it seems like it's healed, like no more pain or nothing. But I'm still been getting like mucus in my throat and having difficulty blowing my nose sometimes. And I thought that the mucus problems would go away once I got rid of the infected tooth, you know. But I guess not. I don't even know if there's infection in my body, like systemically. I hear fake crusty perp neighbors being loud near my door. So I'm thankful and glad for an extra hotel night tonight. And I'm not live streaming tonight because I'm physically exhausted, weighed down, and too tired to be wrestling and fighting with the perps. And I need some downtime. I wish I could have help with more hotel nights. And I can't even I can no longer live in apartments anymore. I can't live in apartments anymore because of the gang stalking and noise harassment campaigns. Um and living in an extended stay, it's like living in an apartment with the noise and the harassment and stuff. And then with the extended stay hotels, if you're dealing with fake perp neighbors, they're gonna bother you and stay living there. And then when you move, they're gonna move too. Or when you leave, they're gonna leave too. Even with regular apartments, I've had to deal with perp neighbors that after I left, come to find out like 2 months later, they left too. You know, and if the gang stalking being so unbearable that I had to be forced to break leases and then it affecting my credit or ruining my credit, you know, I almost got permanently wrongfully banned from the Section 8 program because I was forced to have to break the lease um, due to the directed energy weapons and the vibrating and the noise harassment campaigns and neighbors making me feel unsafe and threatening me and stuff. Excuse me. You know, they are vibrating my body right now. And there was a point in time when they would leave me alone with the vibrating for like a whole year or two and then start back up again. Excuse me. And if they well, they vibrated my body last night, and if they do something like vibrate my body, and then that will set the stage for me to be sleep deprived and have no sleep that night, or have an insomnia kind of night. You know, have no sleep. Like the stalkers are harassing me. But excuse me. Yeah, dealing with the gang stalking, they're gonna make sure it's impossible for me to get a housing opportunity where I can where I don't have to worry about being bothered or harassed. And I don't know how to survive out in the woods, and I have zero experience with living out in the woods, and I don't know where the woods is, where to go, and how to get there, you know. And I've heard professed targeted individuals who said that they went to go live off the grid or out in the woods, and the gang stalkers find them and torture and harass them and do stuff to them, you know, find their location or whatever. Um, or if they try to force you back onto the grid. If you, but I don't have, and I've never lived off the grid before. I've never been out in the woods before. Um, like living out in the woods. I never had those experiences. But I heard that, a lot of people would talk about living off the grid, or they would talk about off grid tiny house or whatever, and they said it's a hard way to live. But those are people who feel like they want to you know, defy the government, or, you know, not be controlled or tracked or whatever. And people like that who try to fight against the system are the ones who end up targeted. You know, it's like, it's pointless, it's senseless to torture and harass someone and make sure that that person gets no peace. It's like if the stalkers drive you to the point of being crazy and insane. If they drive you to make you lose your sanity, and they keep trying to call you crazy, and then they keep poking, prodding, and stabbing you psychologically, mentally, and emotionally, to where it's excruciating, and you can only ignore for so long, or you can only take so much, where you feel like you have to fight back, or you have to try to do something to make it stop. Um, so, excuse me. So, like, The fake You Wish perp, I saw her using devil horns. The You Wish 378, she was using satanic emojis. And I think she also was saying Hail Satan. Well, they think that they can tell me how to worship God or serve the Bible when they worship the devil. And the fake Mark Russell perp actually said Hail Satan. He said that. And I screenshot it, you know. And excuse me. So you can't think you're better than me when you a devil worshiper, and you're trying to point out what you think I'm doing wrong, or like you think you're more righteous than me, but you're a proud Satanist, you know. And this fake perp, I don't remember his name, but he's a black guy that I never did him anything. And he been stalking, following, and harassing me, and spreading lies about me. And he went to subscribe to me today. If you've been talking trash about me and hating my guts, I don't know who you are. Why are you speaking ill of me and joining in on the smear campaigns, and you don't know me? And excuse me, they making my chin itch. You don't know me, and you a guy. You a black guy stalking and harassing a black woman. If you hate me, why did you come to follow me and subscribe to me on YouTube? Excuse me. And the stalkers try to lie and say that I always tell how much the cost of the hotel room is, which is not true. And you know, they try to calculate how much of my own money they think I'm spending, and they try to calculate how much money they think I'm getting donated, or try their figures be wrong on, you know, how much they think I'm getting donated to me. You know, if the gang stalking cult network, they won't do anything to just leave me alone and let me live a normal life. You know, because before I was aware that I was being gang stalked, you know, I wanted to, well, I thought I was content and happy, and felt like I wanted to live in Los Angeles for the rest of my life until I died, and made that my new home. And I thought it was just Los Angeles people who were fake. Come to find out, it's the whole damn world. Even here in New Orleans, I can't believe people who would be fake. I thought New Orleans people prided themselves on being a keep it real type. They making my eye itch. I thought they prided themselves on being a keep it real type, you know. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm not ready to have to go back on the streets tomorrow. And then once I go back on the streets tomorrow, oh, my arms are even smaller. Well, they're still kind of big, but they're smaller. But I guess when my legs swell up, when I'm on the streets, my arms, I guess, swell up too. You know, they're still vibrating my body. And when they vibrate my body, it's like a guarantee that I would get little to no sleep. I would be up all night, you know. But, excuse me, people are calling me a burden or the names that the stalkers call me, which is slanderous. But they saying I'm a burden by asking for help for hotel and food and toiletries, hygiene items, whatever I need. Excuse me, So the stalkers keep falsely accusing me of lying about this and lying about that. They lie and say that I order DoorDash or Uber Eats twice a day, every day in the hotel. Or they lie and say that Candy be in a hotel, you know, 57 days out of 60. I don't even think, no, because I even had to suffer a lot of winter nights on the streets. Like, they want to coerce for me to suffer on the streets to be just as punishing as jail or prison. Because even when I would be in Pensacola and suffer on the streets, it made me feel like, me living on the streets made me feel like, that constant, I would wake up in the morning with that constant reminder that I deserve to be punished, you know. And even being on the streets, you know, my whole body would swell up or balloon up, you know. And then after I come back in the hotel, you know, I end up dealing with my hips hurting every morning, you know. Some like mostly every morning, but sometimes it could be the rest of the day too. Yeah, they lie and say that I order DoorDash twice every day and that I eat 5-star meals and everything, you know, and they just over exaggerate and lie and they falsely make it like I'm living my best life when I'm not living my best life. I'm in survival mode and suffering and struggling. And then they try to make it like, oh, for her to live off of other people's backs and suffering and struggling. But y'all the ones cyber criminal, sex trafficking, satanic, cult cyber criminals. And you think that I don't deserve to earn my own living. Y'all think the only way life should be is to gang stalk and prostitute, and y'all are sexually perverted and filthy and make up a whole bunch of lies on people. You know, my body is so tired that I'd be afraid that I'm gonna die. I feel so tired and tortured. I'd be afraid that I'm gonna collapse on the street. Like, I mean, people are saying that I'm a burden with asking for help with hotel or motel or food or whatever, but they won't. The stalking cult won't allow me to live normal. If they wanted me with a job, they should not have gotten me wrongfully banned from the airport and this place and that place. They plotted to get me wrongfully evicted 2 hours after I got that apartment. And fake Darnisha, he illegally found out the exact Craigslist ad about the $540 cabin. He found out 2 days before I got on the Greyhound bus to go to Bloomington. You know, and I know that if I live anywhere in New Orleans, well, I might be a little bit safer or deal with people might be a little bit more safer in Jefferson Parish. But Orleans Parish, even if it's Algiers, like I feel scared to live in Orleans Parish, because I know that people will be, you know, dangerous, you know, especially out in the east, you know. I don't know. I'm just trying to see what I could figure out. I don't want to go out of state. I have been homesick, and I feel homesick while I'm here in New Orleans. I'm feeling homesick while I'm here. And maybe that might be because I'm wrongfully permanently banned from the family forever, and it feels odd that I'm wrongfully banned from all the nostalgic places that I of my fond childhood memories that I could no longer experience anymore, like the River Walk, the old Gretna ferry, and certain other places. Um, it's odd for me to be in my own hometown, and it's like the family has a visible restraining order against me. You know, you know what? When the biological mom Frances was alive, she said she did not believe in cremation. My twin sister wants me cremated to copy off the fake foster mom Adrian Felder. I'm gonna say it again. If anything happens to me where I die or where my life ends, I would like to be buried and not cremated. Do not cremate me. You don't have the authority or the right to cremate me. I would like to be buried. If you don't want to bury me next to the rest of the family members, then freaking fine. You know, but for the cult stalkers to think that they can have control over my death arrangements while I'm still alive, and my twin sister encouraging and allowing it to happen, who's the narcissist here? Because I couldn't make death arrangements for her. So what make her think she can do it to me? That's how she's in cahoots with the stalkers, and they're trying to blood sacrifice me. And the stalkers create all kinds of bunch of lies, just freaking lies, and lies to make people think you look stupid, you look like a fool, you know. Excuse me. Like I caught Miss Vicky lying and saying that I went over by the family so I could get hurt. My brother Wyatt had passed away, and it was the day before his funeral. I'm family too, and I did not foresee that the rest of the family members were gonna do that to me. I didn't know what the hell, what kind of secrets they had behind my back, or what they would. I didn't know they were gonna treat me like that and do that, and falsely accuse me of doing things I didn't do. But my twin sister was the mastermind and orchestrated it all. And I was supposed to have been blood sacrificed that week, and she did not. I mean, I'm sorry, the week that of our birthday. And they might try it this year. And it would be eerie if they end up sacrificing me or having me murdered or killed on the day before our birthday, and for Wyatt's 1 year death anniversary, or somewhere around there. Because they were threatening before, like a few days before Wyatt passed away, they were threatening to have me killed on our birthday. I guess to mock me about Aaliyah, the singer Aaliyah. They were threatening to have me killed in 2023. I was being harassed every day and threatened, and for them to say, that I won't get to live to see my 40th birthday, and that I was gonna die and be cremated. And fake Darnisha, fake Darnell will harass me and say, "Who's gonna come to Bloomington and claim your body?" And that's kind of another reason why I moved back to New Orleans. Excuse me, but even here in New Orleans, if the family would hate me that much that they wouldn't claim my body once I'm dead, but they'll be quick to collect that life insurance money, though. I do not know who has a life insurance policy out on me, but my twin sister used to tell me that the fake foster mom Adrian Felder and the foster sister Shelly have life insurance policies put out on us. You know, excuse me. Yeah, so for Miss Vicky to act like she thinks she has the fake authority to dictate that I'm not supposed to be around my family, but she's a freaking internet stranger. And Miss Vicky likes to pick fights with people and then play victim or play innocent when you strike back. She was calling people, and like she tried to talk about Candy's always calling people names, but then you calling people names like slutty and stuff your doggone self, you know. And Miss Vicky thinks she's better. She's freaking judgmental and self-righteous and lie and say she serves God. And then that fake perp that falsely called himself just a delivery guy lie and say he serves God. And then they start following, harass, and spread a bunch of lies on me. And, Miss Vicky quit her job just to stalk my every move 24/7 without a break. And then talking about that they're out for summer vacation. When you spend your summer vacation stalking someone, stalking and cyber harassing someone, because all I did was talk about the cult that I was in. You know, excuse me, and they say gang stalking is not only human trafficking, but it is sex trafficking. They said Kanika Jenkins and Sandra Bland were targeted individuals that were victims of sex trafficking. They said that both of them were MK Ultra victims with the sex kitten programming, MK Ultra beta slaves mind control programming. Excuse me, like a lot of the celebrities. And and then my twin sister got mad. Her and her cult got mad at me. Um, I was not trying to compare myself to Kanika Jenkins. But it's like a lot of people have said that she had been targeted and set up, and that she was being, sex trafficked, and that Sandra Bland was sex trafficked, and you know, and I forgot who else, you know, and that Trayvon Martin boy, he was a blood sacrifice for his Freemason father, Tracy Martin. His dad, Tracy Martin, was a Freemason who blood sacrificed him. You know, hold up. Excuse me, I I paused the video. I've been having gas all day, with passing gas all day. I'm sorry. Well, this time around, if I've been farting all day, it wasn't the weapons. It was just me having that. I mean, I guess naturally having gas. excuse me. I just, I wish, like right when I was forced to end up back homeless again in October 2023, the fake skank shitney perp with the 666 kids thought she was younger than me and thought she had the fake authority to punish me. Excuse me. And, she thought she had the fake authority to punish me, and would do the noise harassment campaigns and torture me with weapons. You know, wouldn't allow me a second of peace. Multiple neighbors, almost every neighbor, almost everyone in that fake projects or apartment complex or whatever you want to call it. But the ladies in the building and like two buildings in front of us, they heard about what happened and they sympathized with me. Excuse me. And the neighbors were trying to murder me. They were trying to kill me. And that lady, don't remember her name at the moment. That was the landlady, Miss Ross, I think her name was. She opened the door and she saved my life because one of the perp neighbors that was associated with the skank shitney perp, um, excuse me, the neighbor, that lady tried to put her hands on me, and she said, "Cause not everybody gonna spare you." Well, don't gang stalk me. You gang stalk and perform your tactics, and then try to get gangster and ghetto and try to fight me or try to threaten to harm me or threaten to kill me. You know, and I had my bags too big to carry, too much stuff, and I was forced to have to throw away, excuse me, 99% of my belongings and narrow everything down to one or two backpacks, and run for my life and run for my survival and leave Pensacola and never look back. Even though I felt like I wish I could take vacations and go back there to go to the beach or go to the pool or whatever. But it looks like I don't know if I could ever go back to Pensacola. Or if I do, I would have to be quiet about it or secret about it. And, you know, but it doesn't look like anytime soon that I will ever have the opportunity to get to go, quote unquote, vacation anywhere. Excuse me. I can't even afford to go and have a ticket to the zoo or aquarium here in New Orleans. You know? And I don't party. I never really did party. I never was a party person or the person who go out and party and drink at night. Even when I did have housing, I was always a loner and by myself. You know, excuse me. Yeah. I wish I could talk more, but I'm getting more tired. My body feels weighed down. Like as if there is tons of weight, you know, pushing my body down. Like I just feel fatigued and exhausted and not ready to suffer on the streets tomorrow. And they said it's a 45% chance to rain tomorrow. And it's supposed to rain throughout this week. And, you know, and I'm feeling emotionally depressed and feeling like anxiety about the fake court dates and won't be able to relax and have an enjoyable summer. And you know, the fake Darnisha, fake Darnell illegally threatened me again and threatened to put a third fake criminal charge on me and said that, oh, 3 strikes and you're out, and you're already on out on bond of 2 counts of this and that, and the third time you're not getting out of jail. And then he threatened to, oh, I'm gonna get you banned from the hotel and you're gonna be perma banned. And I don't know how he's illegally finding out, even people who are supportive of me, how he's finding out where they live at and illegally posting up, make a new fake new profile to post up their house and their address and harass them and threaten them too. He thinks that everyone's supposed to be afraid of him, you know, and but he's a freaking coward though. All of them are. If you're a guy who team up with other men to pick on and bully a female, or send nothing but 5 or 6 male cops to handle one defenseless, disabled female, those cops are cowards too. You know, I mean, I can't even move forward with my life because of the false criminal charges and fake court dates and feeling afraid and, having a fake public offender. Um, and they're trying to put a fake mental health case on me and trying to make like I'm incompetent to stand trial. When they put me through all this, just drop the fucking charges. Because y'all wrong. Y'all the damn criminals. And this is not funny. Excuse me. They are trying to blood sacrifice me. And people try to say, well, they won't touch you. If that's the case, why do I have false criminal charges to fight? And why am I in pain, shoulder pain? And why was I physically assaulted? Why is my phone cracked? I've been harmed by too many people for people to say that the stalkers cannot touch me. And they have harmed me. And they will and do put their hands on you. And how do other targeted individuals get murdered if they want to make it like, oh, it's just no-touch torture to make you go kill yourself when they're actually killing people out here? They killing you and then making it look like you did it to yourself and covering it up. And you can't trust any doggone body, and that's why I cannot trust roommates and neighbors or none of that. I can't live in a group setting. Excuse me, because you can't trust nobody with this gang stalking setups and traps or whatever. What happened with Lisa T.I., I don't remember all the details, but he had a place to live. He was a transgender, had a place to live, and he had HIV and diabetes, and he was offering for TIs to come and live with him, and he was very vocal and outspoken about the targeting. And it was a female that pretended to be targeted and went to go live with him and then set him up to get murdered. And he died. When he was murdered, they murdered him and took his clothes off. Now, I heard certain other people in this TI community that got murdered, especially if you go against, like, speaking against police corruption and stuff like that, and you end up dead. It ain't a suicide. Like, who knows if I might end up getting murdered for speaking against Gretna police corruption. I hope not. But, you know, or for me to fight and, and try to file a lawsuit against them for their corruption and what they've been doing to me. Gretna police have been having it out for me since foster care. Since ninth grade. The fake foster mom Adrian Felder and her fake IDMR cult that she forced us into, you know. Excuse me. It all started from her. And she lived 4 blocks down. She used to. Oh, damn. What the hell? Well, hold up. I don't know what kind of bug that was. It was some big, huge flying thingy that I could not identify. Um, but I'm feeling mild heartburn right now. So I was donated enough funds for, another night of hotel plus food, and with the you know, with me being physically weighed down like this, and like I'm gonna end up struggling having to check out the hotel tomorrow. Um, so I paid the money that I set aside. I paid the today. I paid for the bus tickets, the bus fare. I paid for them like a week in advance because they expire on the 10th. I don't know how I ended up last month. Maybe because I was in the hotel and forgot, you know. So now the cycle is gonna be on the 10th. Um, so I guess June 10th. Excuse me. For me to renew. I think it's June 9th or 10th. For me to renew the renew the you know, bus passes. So I paid for them and paid for the phone bill in advance today. And then um I emailed to see about notary services for the library and I didn't get any response yet. But I set aside a few little funds, a little bit, you know, in case I cannot find a notary for free and have to pay. And that's basically. Oh wait, hold on. Oh my. Oh, I'm getting suffering like reflux and heartburn right now. So yeah, like if like the stalkers, they be judgmental about what Candy is ordering DoorDash and stuff like that. What if I might be at a place where they may not have that many restaurants or eateries around, and y'all just judging, oh, Candy get a DoorDash or whatever, it ain't your damn business. And then they try to justify it by saying, well, she puts her information out there, she put her business out there. Well, if you don't like me, then you stay away from me instead of stalking and harassing and trying to point out what you think are my flaws. You Even if I do put my information out there, that does not give you the right to weaponize it against me and hurt me and keep stalking and harassing me. And I thought Miss Vicky backed off and left me alone, but Miss Vicky had been stalking and harassing me for like I guess 9 months now. Because I think Miss Vicky was even a perp from the beginning. That's why she was narcissistic and bossy and creating street theater. You know, she picked the argument with that daughter. I think that person called herself Daughter of God. You know, on me and my twin sister's birthday, they were picking the arguments with each other in my live stream. And I just try to remain neutral, you know, and didn't want to take sides, you know, and but before then, that Daughter of God person, I forgot who she picked an argument with like a week or two before that, you know. But, you know, perps that try to be messy, I mean, I try to clean out my, and they both ended up being perps and betraying me. Um, but it seems like that Daughter of God person, it seemed like she didn't stick around long. You know, she harassed me for like maybe a couple of weeks and then left me alone. But she was trying to traffic me and trying to get me to come stay by her too. And I can't go live with nobody because I don't know if you're trying to traffic me or set me up. And then if I do live with you, you're not gonna be able to, you're not gonna tolerate anything about me because I'm too weird for you. You might feel like living with me is a piece of work. If I can't tolerate your fake, crusty, dirty, satanic, evil cigarettes, and you can't tolerate me sanitizing everything, you know. So I didn't have lunch because I was, you know, trying to comb my hair. Did failed attempt at trying to comb my hair out, and then you know, I thought I would try to feel hopeful about getting the knots out, but certain areas is impossible. Or I don't know what advice people could give for me to be able to succeed at getting the knots out and save my hair. Excuse me. So I got another, you know, buy one get one free dinner, and it was pad thai with pork belly, and it was, ooh, the flavor was overwhelming. And I ate at my food came at 5:30, and I ate at 5:30. Excuse me, which was kind of pretty early, you know. And I had the other drink from the buy one get one free, the Wingstop yesterday. I had the drink and a brownie today with the dinner. And then I have the other plate of food. I guess I should eat it tomorrow, you know. But I do not get buy one get one free or DoorDash or Uber Eats every day. And I don't get it every hotel stay either, you know. You see that? They're harassing with noise, with ambulance sirens. You know, excuse me. But they have too many people on social media who think that they could be witches and serve Jesus Christ at the same time. Or they think they could be New Age and Christian at the same time. Or they think they could be devil worshiper and Christian at the same time. And too many fakes and phonies, y'all. Playing both sides. Oh, oh. But um Well, if I had, so I'm glad I was able to get my amazing grass. I haven't got to have that in months. And the amazing grass and the bentonite clay supplements help. Um, they will help with the you know, heartburn or whatever. And I can't afford to eat like healthy, and like I wish I could. And the stalkers are expecting me to eat fast food, but then when I eat fast food, they want to say I deserve to die, and they always, or they want to think I deserve XYZ sickness. Well, why are you telling me to go eat at like if I eat Dairy Queen, they say, well, she's 4 hamburgers and a dozen donuts away from a heart attack. But then if I try to eat a salad, then they'll say, oh, she thinks she too good to eat fast food and she too bougie and this and that, whatever. And they keep on falsely talking about, oh, Candy is obsessed with food and all she talks about is gang stalking and food. Well, if that's a problem for you, then, you know, go find another channel to watch. Who the fuck are y'all? Stop complaining about stuff that's not your business. And you're not going to control me. Something's freaking wrong with y'all. They have skinny people when their YouTube channel is all and only about food. Do you go and attack and harass them? No. Why aren't y'all attacking my twin sister for having her channel to pretend like she's revolving around food? You don't attack her when she can brag about cooking on a Blackstone griddle and living her best life, and she's allowed to be happier than me. They want me to starve? You know, and then they keep on, they stalk, follow, and harass, and then make it like as if when you expose it and talk about it, they make it like it's not happening and you're delusional. God sees everything because y'all stalking, following, and harassing me, and then they want to talk about Candy curses out, you know, children and elderly and this and that, or when they plant those people there as perps. I don't curse innocent people out. They send perps to trigger my Tourette's on purpose, and trigger me to lash out, you know, excuse me, and or um yeah, but they spend the narrative to lie and make me look bad, you know. But I'm defending myself and exposing and pointing out this is what they're doing because they're trying to harm me, They have harmed me. Excuse me. So yeah, and at a restaurant I owe someone $10 because the gift card thing was not working. So I set aside $10 to pay that person whenever I go there again. You know, that was like last week, I think. You know, so I mean, I don't have to, but I've been transparent. About my finances, and the stalkers still find ways to falsely accuse me of lying when it's not their business. You know, oh my, oh, heartburn and reflux, like GERD. Excuse me, because the Wingstop was cheaper, you know, yesterday, but I didn't. I said I was determined to try to eat something healthier, like with some fruits and with some vegetables or something in it. And the pad thai was healthier, But pork belly, I guess it ain't the healthiest. But I had chicken yesterday, and if I would have had steak or shrimp or something, it would cost them more. So But I thought maybe what if I got some shrimp fried rice or something. But I got the pad thai. It was pad thai with pork belly, you know. And I saved the other plate for tomorrow. And I wish I could have help with more hotel nights. But I'm gonna stop rambling for now. I have more stuff I need to talk about, but I'm too tired. And it's 11:12 p.m. at night. I love y'all. Good night.